Hey everybody, it's Zach the Welder here coming at you for another video. And this one, I got a question for y'all. Who is going to Fabtech? So I will be in Orlando, Florida the week after next and going to Fabtech. Really pumped to be going to the show there. There's so much cool stuff. If you've never had the opportunity to go to a Fabtech, you know, if you're close, just make the drive, take the time to go there. There's so much cool stuff to see. There are so many really passionate people about welding. You know, I stopped by the Lincoln booth last year. They had this neat hyperfill setup, and you know, like the engineer that designed it was there, and it was so cool to be able to just kind of talk to somebody that was so passionate about welding, about deposition rates, about all that nerdy shit that was so much fun. And it was really cool. There's lots of stuff like that there. And if you have the opportunity, just go, you'll thank me later. When they do it in Chicago, I believe it's 20 acres worth of stuff. And I mean, there's the big name booths there, like your Lincolns and your Millers, that they debut their new products there. And then you go kind of over in the lower rent district, and there's all kinds of really neat niche products for like purge plugs, for weld cleaning, for just all kinds of stuff like that, if you don't use that kind of stuff regularly, you'd never really think about it, but there's just really neat stuff like that. And it's just cool to talk to people. I know some of like the bigger YouTube people are gonna be there. I know A-Bomb's gonna be there. Welding Tips and Tricks guy is supposed to be doing a Q&A, kind of like hanging out, meet and greet kind of stuff. So if you're into the YouTube welding community, like it should be a good time. There's lots of cool people there. JD Brewer, really cool guy to talk to. Icy Weld is the nicest guy I think I've ever run into there. Like I talked to him for a few minutes, I think at the last couple shows I went to. Just everybody there is super cool. It's just a cool show, cool vibe, really enjoy it. Yeah, enough about that. If you're down there, stop by, say hi. I'm probably gonna be going around with my gimbal here, trying to do some interviews and kind of show y'all what kind of stuff's there. I'm going down there with a buddy of mine that's never been, so I'm sure it will be a neat experience going with him and letting him see, or watching him see all the stuff for the first time. So should be a good time. I'm super pumped. Shop updates here. Well, it's time for another shipping container. My other one is full, so another container. That guy came in this week, and I moved nearly all of the woodworking stuff in there. So behind me here, you've got my big SCMI panel saw that I just cannot bring myself to part with. That's going in the shipping container. My long-term goal is to turn that red barn that you may be familiar with if you're a longtime viewer, turn that into a woodworking shop, kind of more wood-oriented shop, just to kind of have more for fun. I've found that there's really no money in woodworking compared to metal. So that's more gonna be my hobby shop. As soon as I have some free cash, I can throw at that building. And the cool thing is I have cleared out room where I had that big SCMI jointer. My planer and the other stuff is now in the shipping container, and I actually have room to breathe in my shop here. And as soon as this guy comes out and I get back from Fabtech, I am looking for a Haas, probably VF3. I have a buddy that has a big machine shop that tells me don't buy anything smaller than a VF3. If I can find a decent deal on one, a VF4 or a VF5, something like that. That will take up about the same amount of space as that panel saw behind me here. And I already have customers that are asking if I'll do their machine work, so that just seems like a no-brainer. I'm looking on BidSpotter, I'm looking on eBay and at used machinery dealers. So I'm kind of looking in the neighborhood of like a 2008 to a 2012 Haas machine, and I set my budget at about, say, 40,000, somewhere right around in there. I don't really want to go over that because I don't see the focus of my business shifting over to just machining. So that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, what it costs to play that game. So I already used Fusion 360 for, I believe it's $1,500. You can add CAM, which is basically like, Fusion is your design software, CAM is your, you know, making component of that, where you can tell the software like, hey, I've got a Haas VF2, it's got this tool in it, it'll run this tool path, and then it'll cut your stuff out. I'm again, not a machinist, I just play one on YouTube. Another cool thing, I was working at a steel mill a little close to me last week, so I'll put some video in. Well, I'm all about this steel mill life. Just changed that guy out there. That was a blast. It was pretty neat, very different from the places that I normally work. Safety is such a big thing there, to kind of the stupid degree. You have to be tied off in places where it's like, really, you're on a step ladder that's 4 feet in the air. You got to be tied off. Where do you tie off to? The ladder? Stuff like that, that's a little weird. Once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. Everything there is so greasy and so dirty and so loud. Just not my usual sort of work areas, but you know, it was an interesting experience. We rebuilt one of the annealing furnaces, or roller furnaces, I think they're called. Again, you know, was only there for a couple days, but it was a neat project. Just lots of art gouging and lots of big, brutal, smash it with a hammer type work. But there you go. Kind of a neat avenue there if you could get in and do work like that. Like I have a buddy that does refractory work there that, you know, they stay fairly busy just, you know, doing stuff like that. So interesting industry I've never really taken part in before. But anyway, let's see what else is new around the shop here. I got, oh yeah, a couple of knack boxes. I don't remember if those were my last video or not. I got a couple of these knack 112s. They're the neat ones that have the pull-out roller drawers. And I am keeping all of the fixtures for my Fireball fixture table in that one, and then trying to just organize the shop here to try and make room for the CNC mill. And then also, I picked up a Dynasty 300 behind me there. And yeah, I'm gonna do a review video on that here shortly, but I just wanted to kind of check in with everybody and see who's going to Fabtech and let you know kind of what's going on here in the shop. I'm really excited to add the CNC capability of the shop here. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope it gets you thinking about going to Fabtech or adding things on to your business. I think that's the real reason I like going to shows like that. It's not just all the cool tools. It gives you kind of liberty to think about different industries, different things that you don't really think about getting into, and just kind of sparks the old noggin there. So anyway, hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope to see you at Fabtech. So thank you all for tuning in.